Hey YouTube, what's up? It's GTO Charts here, and just bringing you another quick update on some stuff that we've been doing lately, making our charts even better than before. So just quickly in front of you now, you can see all the raise first in sizes for under the gun, middle position, cutoff, button, and small blind. Up top here, let's just do that first. You can see the random number generator every 30 seconds, which helps you make the optimal decision down here. We have all raise first in sizes. Then I've highlighted this to a big 3 number. So when you 3-bet, it'll show you 3-bet sizes. Then we have middle position raise in, and so on and so forth. I'll go through all that one by one, but that's the first thing to notice is up the top here that we've changed all that. So any action that you need to take is just going to be in one click of the button, rather than before we used to break down the position under the gun. You would click on that, then you'd have to click either opening range or 3-bet range. Now it's much quicker and easier to zip on through the ranges. So again, let's go back to all the raise first in sizes, and as you can see, under the gun, middle position, cutoff, button, and small blind, as I explained before. And just take note of this, mouse over for exact opening range. So for instance, you are under the gun and to play GTO optimally. Again, another thing to note is we've got some assumptions to make before we start working out what our range is going to be. We're assuming 100 big blinds, no ante, no rake, and we are going to employ a flatting and a 3-betting strategy from most positions, rather than just a 3-betting strategy, which we have in other charts. So you're under the gun as an example, and you look down at your cards and you have King 5 suited. Not sure, as you can see here, it's a mixed strategy. So you just mouse over and basically saying if the random number generator is 23 or under, you should open King 5 suited under the gun. If you look up the left corner, 85, so we wouldn't open that. 10-8 suited, 88 and under, yes, that would be an open. And then it just carries on for each position after that. Obviously, the closer you get to the button, the ranges are going to widen, and then small blind wider even again. So it's just a simple matter of sticking to these ranges and mousing over when you have a split decision to make, and to make the most optimal GTO decision, mouse over the ones that are split and number will pop up. The ones that are 100%, obviously we don't need to come up and tell you that that is 100%. From there we move on to, let's have a look at under the gun facing 3-bets. So again, let's think of a real life strategy. Let me move that up a tiny bit. A real life strategy where you are under the gun and you have raised it up with, let's say, ace 10 suited. So if we look here, firstly we go back here, ace 10 suited, yep, under the gun, opening 100% of the time. So you open it up, and then you are facing a 3-bet from one of these positions. Let's say the button 3-bets. The button loves the 3-bet. So if the button 3-bets, you have ace 10 suited under the gun, what the hell are you supposed to do? Well, it's quite simple. Let's go here, check out our ace 10 suited, and game theory optimally, the game theory optimal recommendation is 4-bet 43 and below and flat 44 and above. Now if you notice, the random number generator just changed. So what I do is, if I look and it just changed, I obviously just use the value it just changed to. So in this instance we have number 36. We 4-bet 43 and below, and we flat 44 and above. Numbers changed, but we've already looked, so let's stick with the 4-bet 43 and below. So in this instance we are going to 4-bet. Oh, let's get back over there. 4-bet 43 and below. Now we 4-bet, and what happens if the button now 5-bets? We're at the point of 5-bet shoving because the stacks are pretty much there. So if that happens, what you do is, now keep in mind that we have 4-bet 43% and flatted the remaining 67%. So if we go down here and you get shoved on by the button, so up the top you'll notice below are ranges to use if you are 5-bet shoved on under the gun by the button. Okay, so you can see our ace 10 suited there is in blue. It's disappeared. I can't mouse over it. It's a fold. Too easy. Okay. If you had aces, ace king, obviously it's a call. Kings, queens, and tens are calls. Jacks are folds. Interestingly, that tens are a call and jacks are a fold. But who am I to argue with the solvers? So yeah, and that carries on for all the positions. If you're 3-bet from small blind or the big blind, again, all the ranges are here. They're pretty close, but they do differ in subtle ways, and the subtle ways are where you're going to gain your edge in this game. Okay, let's move on to, let's say, middle position, raise first in. Actually, I'm jumping to cutoff, raise first in. Okay. So in this instance, because back here when we're under the gun, there was no one before us to act, right? But in this instance, we are in cutoff, so under the gun could have opened previously, and the middle position could have opened previously. And as I said before, we're using a strategy where we flat sometimes and 3-bet sometimes, raises. So let's take another example. We're in the cutoff in a 6-max game, and under the gun opens to 2.2 big blinds. What should we do with our range? Okay, so under the gun opens. Let's pick a hand. Ace 5 suited, sounds like good as any. What should we do with that hand if the under the gun is already open? We're in cutoff. Let's mouse over. It's one thing I was going to say is sometimes you don't have to mouse over. Like if you look at ace 5 suited now, it's almost 50-50, a little bit lower, but you can see if you look at the RNG that it's 85. So in that instance, you don't have to mouse over. You know it's a flat. Number just changed to 82, still a flat. So ace 5 suited, we're going to flat. In this instance, sometimes we will 3-bet when the RNG is 55 and below. So what happens if you 3-bet and then under the gun 4-bets you? Well, that's easy. Again, stick to our example, ace 5 suited. We 3-bet. Going back to our previous example, as you can see, the number generator has changed to 10, but we're well and deep into the hand now. So we have 3-bet. Let's say under the gun now 4-bets us. Well, let's mouse over here, bottom left corner, and ace 5 suited. It looks like a 50-50 split. So 50% of the time you would fold, and 50% of the time you would call. Now, the other thing to note here is, if you look at ace 5 suited, it's only got half coloured in. That's because the range it's looking at there is the 3-bet range, which are used here. So if you look at that, you can see you've done 3 bets 55 and below. So just to take note, when you open that up, it's just looking at that, which then in this instance you're going to have to take a bit of a guess because we can't mouse over to get the exact range. But for me it's 50-50. If I look at RNG now, I would fold ace-5 suited if I was 4-bet. Okay, so that's the gist of it. The rest is, all the other positions are then covered with the exact same charts. Obviously all the frequencies change and so on and so forth. So it's all quite simple. It's all quite quick. You should know what to do at any given moment. The only chart that probably is different to the others is the big blind, where obviously you are not opening any hands. It's all just people opening before you. Also something to note, we've got rid of the limping strategy in this particular chart series. We are thinking of adding it back. Stay tuned for that. Not sure at the moment, but for the moment, the big blind, as an example, is just looking at all the opening ranges. If the small blind limps, well, we don't have that strategy there, but most of the games I play in, there's not a hell of a lot of limping done. But yeah, again, mouse over, quick, fast. If you see any errors here, please let us know. We're pretty sure we've got it all close to 100%, but yeah, some of these numbers may not match. If, for instance, you look at that ace-5 suited, well, let's say king-6. To me, before I put mouse over, it looks at about 10. I was going to say 10, so 11 and below, which looks about right. But if any of these don't look right, if you were to mouse over that and it said 50-50, obviously something's wrong. So please tell us. Okay, that's it, I think. Really, another thing I suppose up here in the top left corner is recommended raise first in sizes, 3-bet sizes, and 4-bet in position, out of position sizes. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Some really, really good updates. We're excited about it, and hope to bring you some new videos soon. Possibly some live play. Please take note that read terms and conditions of the sites you play on. Not all of them allow charts. Some of them do. So yeah, please take that into consideration. Okay, signing off and talk to you soon.